Hey there guys, Power Guy here. I'm in a good rhythm right now. And as you can tell by the real title, it's gonna be another chat. We're gonna enjoy this chat. We're not gonna walk through decks yet, but you can go through that in another video. I wanna see some Pokemon views go up first. So yeah, I'm just filling it out. I promised an Asgardic pitch. Maybe I'll post it before, just so you don't know what I'm talking about. My jaw is hideous. I got my wisdom teeth removed. Go figure. Asgardix is right. So yeah, I walked through the portfolio a bit, showed some prints off, a lot of cool stuff. Oh yeah, this is just me and the Star Wars stuff. This is all. Can I show it this? No, I can't. They're all just pictures. Okay. Oh yeah, this was the coolest stuff. Fascinating stuff, really. It's a lot of work in here. A lot of good stuff. Okay. Let's go through some old files. High school. Art, business, English, religion. Okay, that's a different pitch. Renaissance. I can't find the Asgardics. Okay, you know what? Let's look into my series. I don't remember doing this. I love presentations. Okay. Boom. A primitive Claire into the Powerverse. I guess it's pretty simple to explain slide right there. It's opening. So let's see. Original series. What is my series about? My series is mainly about our primitive needs as human beings to assert our dominance through fighting. So let's work off this actually, because I don't want to just read jot points to you guys, because I'm here to explain it for a reason. So my series is mainly about showing perspective and the yin and yang, referring to that in the original Japanese mythology, which is a very interesting theology. Good and bad are things we create to understand the world through a better lens, but I want to focus on alienation and how we create our own greatest enemies by seeing flaws in that we dislike about ourselves at times. So let's show you this through exemplars of my work. So the subject, let's explain why I chose it. Heroes have always been a huge part of my life, and I've loved them forever. Like, honestly, from the time of watching Captain America, the first Avenger, that was fun to watch in theaters. I felt like Captain America myself, actually. It was pretty amazing. Not amazing for the people who clean up the gutters after I jumped off a building. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, even when watching Amazing Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, I wanted to jump off the theater and just swing. It was awesome. But yeah, so, yeah, it's supposed to show strength of character. Yeah, these heroes triumph and they get through their hardships no matter what, and they're very human with it and naked in a sense, but they show themselves, and that whole identity struggle thing is amazing with Spider-Man. And let's dive into how my characters deal with it, really. So let's go about the characters. First two characters inside of here, I explained in the last one, the Power Guy right here. You can't see my pointer. Isn't this great? My name is Power Guy. You can read the name. His power is energy manipulation and attraction between molecules, very scientifically based. He's pretty much like Ego in Star Wars. Star Wars, fucking idiot. Marvel. Yeah, so the story, let's go off topic a bit into a nice tangent. His name was Danny, great guy. He was in high school. The story was rewritten a bunch of times and retold because he was maybe when I was 12 and the story didn't make much sense. But it's supposed to, his legs are actually messed up too. I fixed that, don't worry. But this whole thing is wanting to leave this world and find something better, something more exploratory, something where he could blend in more. He was always a quiet kid, and he loved mythology. He believed in this idea that there was more out in the world. And so he came and went to another professor who had this. He found old articles, and this is supposed to be inspired by the Amazing Spider-Man 1, going back to Curtis Connors, Peter Parker, and he rewrote his dad's things. But the difference in his ideology is that everything went well for this character. He ended up becoming the villain because the hero framed him to be one. He lost everything trying to reawaken his old passion that he had turned down already. And in the process, when he was being consumed by his work, it cost him almost everything before, but then it cost him everything again, and he was cast in this role as a villain. Because another guy wanted to do the greater good. So there is always a cost to just wanting to do better. And came at it changed his mental health, it changed everything, and he had the ability to clone himself. And the ideology behind cloning, not Power Guy, this is the other guy, is that whenever you make a copy of yourself, it's less original than the original because it's duplicating your genetic sequence. So the more that he clones himself, the eviler he gets, and the farther away from who he truly is he gets. And as it goes on, his clones end up killing. It's like a cyst thing. There's only going to be two at once. And every single time he clones himself, he loses a bit of himself. And the struggle with Power Guy is to try to bring back that professor who liked the whimsical things that he saw. But he always sees the world as just ugly, horrific, and pain, like a lot of torture. Anyways, Dark Matter, he's yeah. Dark Matter is just a being made solely of destruction. Think of it like inside of Loki, there is a being at the Goliath. He's that pretty much. Again, testing that ideology of yin and yang. Now let's walk through these characters. Bill, and we have that's a weird name to say, but Bill, he's just a trained dude. He's a super art. He's a MMA master, mainly karate, based in striking. He has super agility. But yeah, so he's from a planet named Aurora. Okay, that's Aurora. That's like some fucking Harry Potter ripoff type stuff. But anyways, he's a lot of cool strength, agility. He's an alien explorer. He does conquest for his planet. The gems on his chest. That's him getting power, collecting power, and the idea of this fight between the two of them, this one, my biggest prince, was to show like, hey, they're both aliens to one planet and they both want power, right? I put him as a karate master. I'll say he's a grappler and he's more defensive, and the other guy's more offensive based on the armor and the silver fill. Yeah, it's an alien colonizer setting up the so they both want to conquer Earth and take resources and strip them. One of them's more for gems and stuff, but they're both aliens and they shouldn't be fighting there. Okay, that's stuff I don't want to get into right now. The Froststrike. Fun character to draw. He looked better in the actual picture. I hate this art piece because I did some stuff wrong, but I made a mask of his in practical, plaster and everything, casts, and I got to paint it all. And this other guy, Crimson Crusader, he actually looks pretty decent right now. His original one wasn't as beautiful as this. The outlines aren't in there. I wish I did more with the outlines, but it was fun. Another Spider-Man right up here, full range. So this guy got abs on top of abs. His back got abs. He can move in any which direction. He could jump. He's just the peak performance of human being if all muscles were tight as you'd like. And the Crimson Streak is a speedster. I just want to show the art, the process. So, okay, let's catapult into this. Okay, the process. This is just me compiling references, my motivation. A lot of it was based in posing, dynamic poses. As you can see with Hawkman right there, not as dynamic of a pose, but it's his landing pose. You can see the Civil War one with Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man. And yeah, we see the Flash running. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. Struggles, a lot of good struggles. Stuff I could expand on. Outline problems, as you can see in the bottom here. Close to the bottom. So the posing was hard because I had to redraw it over and over again for the one near the top. This was the aliens one that I redrew twice, actually. They're both aliens to one planet. The pose is hard to get. It was based off of the Darkseid versus whoever the hell that guy is. It's a fun one to do. And there's problems with crayons and pressing too hard or not. The posing was the hardest part. And the digital stuff was just fun. Honestly, it was just adding shades. But as you can see, there's a whole red layer. That means that the outline stopped working and I accidentally pressed bucket fill and I lost an entire layer. Anyways, back into this, the yin and yang, yes, challenging good and bad. Cities symbolize disturbing nature. So again, I had this dream a while back as a kid. I haven't talked about this much, but I had this dream where I interfered with nature and it was hard to restore back to its original way. So give in to the cycles in a sense. Ecosystems are beautiful, but they're also very, very, very delicate. And so yeah, so armor, they're both intruding on land that isn't theirs and trying to get what they want, but they're protected because of a sworn promise to their people. They're representing their own greater good. Yin and Yang. So this is the first piece. It took a while. This one was actually pretty fun because it was all digital. I flew through it. Obviously, the legs had to be scaled up on Power Guy, and the framing was interesting, but I did a lot of cool stuff with the contrast in terms of orange, blue, green, and everything. I love the color scheme and everything. The shades were really fun to do if I just show the shading. But yeah, that's the style. It's in the city. They're flying and fighting, and there's a plant there. I forgot about that plant. Gradients are fun on the windows. Some of the windows look like shit. Some of the buildings aren't done that well, but it's a pretty solid piece, I'd say, in my opinion, and I like it. This one I hate. Downfall and Uprise. So you know what? Let's go with the fun of the framing. The idea of the framing was to show it from a lens to another guy, ground zero. The buildings are done awfully, but it does look like a helmet in a sense. The sun's placed horribly. I like the purple on green on orange. It's a good challenge right there. We see two beings fighting. The portal's pretty awesome for the green guy to fly out of. The effects are done better and the proportions are done better. There's not much design. There's a lack of design in between characters, but the fun part of it is the design's just color. Yellow, green, blue, purple. The hues are there, and it's pretty well done. And this one, it looks like shit here, but the actual thing's pretty nice. It's at my other place, actually. Yeah. The shading isn't as evident, the value isn't as strong, but I think it's pretty effective for its medium of crayon. The background's supposed to be simple, but I think I should have done more shading. The legs are pretty well done. But I was told by my art teacher that it's very Egyptian-esque in terms of how the legs are pointed and the body isn't in different directions. This is one that I hate a lot. The building's convincing. The background should have been yellow. The grass could have done better. Really expected better of myself. No, the view doesn't feel right. Froststrike is done awfully. A disservice. The face should be enlarged and perspective should be changed. The Spider-Man ripoff is pretty cool. Yeah, that one should have been redone. And yeah. Let's not get into that. And yeah, that's a Primitive Glare into the Powerverse production. And that's the Powerverse. 11 minutes. Not a bad video. Hope you guys have been enjoying this time for me to just rant and talk about my passion. Honestly, let me just get a bit real on this. I have this flame in me right now to just express myself and define my own identity, and this is how I do it. And thank you for listening, watching, and viewing wherever you can, however you can. I get it. I can be a lot sometimes, but that's the idea of the Powerverse, is to give into our nature of just creativity instead of destruction. And art has really been that outlet for me. As you can see, I spent a lot of time on it, obviously, and this has to come, like, it's not just I sit down and do it. There's prep work and idea in it, and the ideas come from other mythologies and fandoms, and that's even evident in other people's creative process. Like the idea that mythology is always reoccurring, like Greek gods coming back in terms of Batman, Superman, this, that. Hades is literally Flash is based off of Hades, sorry, not the other way around, but yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in mythology, and I feel like I'm going to contribute quite a bit in the time to come. Thank you for watching this early stage, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Peace out, yo.